record on this computer. Okay, we are now recording and I am going to share the meeting minutes. So by the way, while I'm looking for the right window, I'm been kind of leading these meetings, and now that this is the steering committee meeting, I have no problem continuing to kind of moderate these. If somebody else would like to do so, I'm completely open to it, but it would have to be a member of the steering committee.
Yeah, I have a question. I have a suggestion for this. You and Kevin have done a formidable job for the last 4 years, 4.5. You co-facilitate, you are the facilitator, and we add a co-facilitator, and I would like to recommend someone from the Atlanta JOG or Jelastic to own it. We don't have a committee member yet, but someone to own it, because then that means that next year you can take a break, and whomever chooses to be the co-facilitator. By the way, I detest the wording of chair, detested so hard. So co-facilitator will be the one to mainly lead and train someone else. And like that, every year we will change. I do not believe that it's fair that John or Kevin continue to do this job. It is hard work, it takes attention to details, and we should all take the ownership. And this is my feedback that I waited for this call to happen to share.
Do you guys not want to do, John, do you not want to do it?
No, I'm fine doing it. I have no problem doing it, but I just don't want to be the guy that says, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I get it. Are there people who would like to do it even as John's backup in case that he's not available or on vacation?
Yes.
So I think what I would like to do, and apologize, managing the minutes here. This is a topic that we can maybe do in the group. I'd really like to get to the agenda items. I just, like I said, didn't want to be that guy who says, you know what, I'm going to do it just because. So, but I have no problem continuing to do it.
I think that's one of the reasons why I like you in that position.
Yes.
Because you're not trying to cling to it. It's just,
even though that's
the
my
job,
name.
it's got to get done. Someone's got to do it. You step up to the plate, but.
My recommendation is this, and not because Kevin is not also doing a great job. It is because we take for granted. When someone is doing the job, we do not know the amount of work that it goes to. So Atlanta JOG and Jelastic, think about it. Let us know at a later, in the other community calls.
Okay.
I'll take a action item to kick off a mailing list conversation about this.
Yeah. This is awesome. Go for it.
Awesome.
I will quickly suggest that we probably should maybe do at least a little rotation once in a while.
Yeah.
Like we do with releases, just so people understand the pain of the job.
Yep.
It's
not that bad.
Who is going to on the task again?
Sorry, was it Summers? Okay,
and
you know what? Okay.
Yes, it was me. Sorry,
right.
I was in a different tab.
Awesome. Yep. Okay, so I need to take attendance here. Let's see. So from the Atlanta JOG, we have Summers on the call. We have Vincent on the call, I believe.
Yep, I'm here.
And Kevin's on Emily.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Ruslan.
I am here.
Right, and hopefully I pronounced your name properly.
Yeah,
all right, awesome. Tatiana.
Tatiana is not, she cannot today, so I'm alone.
Oops. Okay. I am on the call. So let me do this. Roberto.
Yeah.
Yep. I think obviously David and Amelia, and we don't have a committer member quite yet. So we do have a supermajority, which is awesome. I believe those numbers are correct. Three for quorum, 4 for supermajority, with the current steering committee membership that voting membership that we have. And don't forget, if you're on the call and a member of the community, please add your name to the community list. Okay. What we have now there is no past meeting minute approval to approve. So this is our inaugural meeting. So congratulations, everyone. And the first thing we have up is a vote for the working group charter. So I'm hoping that everyone has had a chance to take a look. Wow, that's big. To look at the working group charter. I'm hoping there's, okay, I shouldn't say it that way. Are there any questions? Okay. Okay, awesome. So I guess now it comes down to, and we have Sharon and Paul on the call. Oops, that's the wrong one, sorry. Edwin, I feel your pain from our last call. The darn Zoom toolbar keeps blocking my tabs. Here we go. We also have Eva on the call. So I'm guessing that what I do is just call out names that are the primaries to do a vote and get a +1, an abstain, or
someone
a
needs to make a
-1.
motion, and then that needs to be seconded.
All right, awesome. So I will make a motion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. To vote on the working group approval.
Yeah, vote to approve. Yeah.
Yep,
So
vote to
second.
approve.
I'll second.
It is
Are we
seconded.
going to say any objections?
Any objections? Okay. So I will go down the list here. So for the Atlanta Jug, Summers.
I approve.
All right. So
We
that's,
don't actually need to go one by one. If we just move in second and no objections, that includes
All right.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's the quick way to get things.
It is agreed with David there. There's no objections to just pass the resolution.
Okay, awesome. So we have all +1s, and I should probably fix that so it doesn't say -+1. Okay.
Yeah, a -+1.
Okay, so let's move on then to the MicroProfile specification process.
All right, awesome. So we will update the charter on the Explore page to be the 1.0 and take it out of draft.
All right.
Awesome. Yay.
That's my to-do.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Thanks,
you
Paul.
very much.
Thanks, boss.
Okay, the next item up on the agenda is to vote on the MicroProfile specification process. So do I have let's see, I guess I'll put up a motion to.
John, before you do
Yes.
that, I wonder if you could
Oh.
go into the document and just accept all of the changes and quickly version it. Or
Oh
Okay.
yeah, good call.
anything that's outstanding, and just
They're all accepted except that last the comments need to get.
And that was like a month ago. How do we miss this? This is
It's
the
all right.
close-up.
No, I did.
Well,
It
you
was just
could
the.
have, sorry, you could have actually shown the one that's on the current website because that is draft 1.0, which is already on the website.
Oh, do we?
Okay, I didn't realize that. Do you have a link to that? Can you post a link to
Yeah,
that in the
we-
chat, please?
Sure.
I did see it and
Yeah,
you-
let's vote on the one that's on the website.
I agree.
I did see that it was public already, but you know what we missed? And that is feedback for all of us. We missed for that to go into the working group mailing list. So that is why not many noticed. And when I saw it, I didn't send it to the forum to say, hey, it's public now. It's just one of those steps.
It becomes public as part of the review, the
Mhm.
membership at large review. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So I am going to take that link and paste it into the
Oh,
steering
wait a
committee.
minute, wait a minute. That link is for our charter. That's not the MPSP.
Right.
Yeah, I was looking for that. We don't have the specification process on the website, do we?
no, not yet, not yet.
Okay, then we would
Okay.
vote on the Word
Yeah.
doc.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a link, by the way, already to the charter.
Yeah, that
So
one's
so
good.
we're good. All
Oh,
right.
sorry,
So
did I confuse the matter? I apologize.
That's all right.
that's all right.
You're human? Oh my goodness.
I am. Thank you.
Okay. So we have version 1.0 draft. It says effective TBD.
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
you would update the date.
Yeah.
You would remove draft and you'd update the date.
The date. Gotcha.
And
And-
it'll be effective following the next vote. actually following this vote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead and motion, John, or
Yep, so I will
I
make
motion
it,
to approve the microprofile specification process as drafted.
and I
Do I
will
have a
second
second?
that motion.
Okay. Any objections? Motion carried.
Okay. All right, awesome. So in my other browser, I could technically update this, but right now I'm not signed in on this browser and I don't want to spend the time to do that. So if somebody could actually go in and under their user ID, update these to today's date and remove draft.
I can do that.
Awesome, thank you. I should have logged into this browser.
now, we do need to put that into a more permanent location though, right?
Yeah, I'll get with Wayne on that.
Okay,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
he's got some idea, some.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was something that you guys manage or if that was something that we needed to put on one of our pages.
Well, I know
Yeah,
we
we
did.
could put it up on our website.
Sorry, go ahead, David.
I was gonna say, we could just put it up on our website.
Yeah.
Right, we need it in our website. The website that we have as a domain is a source of truth for MicroProfile.
Well,
We
yeah, but
could, sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
well, I mean, the reason for my question is that there may be a requirement that it actually resides like close to the charter or something. You know,
Yeah,
can't
if that's the
remember where
case, we
that
could
RDB
put it
is.
wherever.
Yeah,
The Jakarta charter source is on GitHub. So that can be an idea to have the source there and then you version it when you make changes.
That's a good idea as well.
But the generated PDF or something should be linked from the charter.
Anything that is in Git that will be able to be updated via PRs is a +1, but this will also, it doesn't matter how many places we place it, but I'm saying it's going to be also in the new page we're creating for the MicroProfile working group under the domain of the website.
Do we want to create a kind of a MicroProfile-WG repo where we put these types of things so that they're all revision controlled and we have tracking and
Yes.
history and no, you know, there could be no like disagreement on the source of truth, the record of truth, or
right.
so if we do put it up on the
That's
website or other locations, we have one version that is like the definitive canonical version controlled version.
Yeah, +1, it should be in the main repo of MicroProfile. And we still need to talk about the repos and the organization that we need to accomplish.
What do people think?
Yes, definitely having change control on it is necessary.
Yes, I agree.
So for Jakarta, it's on the Jakarta website. It said Jakarta EE and then Jakarta EP. Like, so I think that's a quite good format to follow.
Yeah, the website, we can put it on the website anywhere we want. The Jakarta website is backed by Git, so the revision controls there automatically.
Yeah, we
Since
could do the same.
Yeah, since we're using WordPress, we would just check it in so we have a control of it, but then we would update the website manually.
Yeah, agreed. But I don't think we change it every release. It's like
Yeah, we're not going to be changing this document very often.
Yeah.
So we haven't formally moved anything over to the MicroProfile repo. So what we're talking, or the MicroProfile, I guess, account. Yeah, thank you, organization. So that's, I think this is a good idea, but we have to establish, I think, or do we have to establish this in a broader context, right? Well.
What do you mean, John?
Well, we would have to, well, I guess we could just take it, you know, create the repo in the MicroProfile organization as it currently exists and just paste it there, right?
Yeah, that's
fine.
All right.
That's it.
So
Let's who's going to own that tab?
I'll make the repo and then paste it in. That's fine. I'll try to do it while we're on the call here. So we have.
Look at this. Summers and David are owning tasks while on the call.
David and do great repo. Micro profile dash working group repo in micro profile organization. There we go. Okay, that's not working. We'll move charter and MPSP to the repo.
And that is perfect because it's going to apply for everything else that we are documenting, like Q&A, onboarding new members, the budgets, everything can be hosted on that. That's for later because everything else needs to be go through review. It's not been prioritized.
Yep. Okay. Anything else, I guess, under this topic? Okay. The next.
John,
Yes.
John, you could add there other documents will be added here, like budget, like onboarding new members, like Q&A. I have been documenting all of it, and I have not placed it in Git yet. That's like on me, but I will do it at a later time. I can own that task since I have been leading the projects, but this is very helpful. I'm very, very happy about one area.
Okay. Next topic is ballot initiation, convert MicroProfile to a specification project. So Paul, do you maybe want to discuss or summarize this? Or I can.
All is shy, I guess.
I think he's hunting for his
We had suggested ballot text, and where was that ballot text? I think that's what we should be looking at.
Yeah, the ballot text, oops, it says resume share. Have I not been sharing my screen?
No, you have. You're sharing right now the restructure of a specification project.
Okay, that was weird. Yeah, the button said share paused, so, okay. All right, and Paul is going to bring it up here. Yeah, Paul, the this document didn't have broad sharing. I meant to ping you on that. It was, okay, so I'm going to do this. So the permission, oh, Jesus.
Oh, there were two. Yeah, so there's two different documents there, John.
Yeah, so the Google Doc is the actual ballot text that would be sent to the mailing list for the 7-day ballot period.
Okay.
The committee members would vote on, and the web page that we were looking at a moment ago is the page that is a work in progress that would reflect the outcome of the restructuring review, which would be initiated after the 7-day ballot.
And sorry, this is requiring me to log into my browser, so I stopped sharing while I do that. Yeah, if you could do that, then that would save time.
Yeah. So this is the ballot text, and it was patterned after the ballot text that was used for Jakarta when the projects were converted to projects.
This is the first time I see this document. It needs to use the actual name of the project itself, as MicroProfile. And aside from that, are we saying that this is the document that will be added into the template for the vote?
This is the ballot. This is what would be sent to the mailing list by the EMO to initiate the vote.
Okay.
So your request is to change this to Eclipse MicroProfile?
No, my request is to change it to MicroProfile. We dropped Eclipse from the name and we reverted to MicroProfile original name, and it's chartered. Yeah. So we need Eclipse to be removed. And
well, yeah, Kevin wants to say it, but you go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, between Paul and I think we're trying to say the same thing, because what the Eclipse means here is that this is an Eclipse open source project. So not related to MicroProfile, it's just an open source code development project, and we need to convert that into an Eclipse specification project.
Right.
Right.
We are currently Eclipse MicroProfile. We are converting to a specification project, and then the name would be just MicroProfile.
That's correct.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it does make sense, but then
This is the vote that makes it possible for us to drop the Eclipse as you are.
Okay, so you're saying that this is a transfer. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, and this takes this takes the existing MicroProfile project and shifts it into a specification project, and then it becomes under the governance of the EFSP.
Right.
Perfect. Now I understand, because it's the first time I see these documents.
It's in the one to last alinea also.
Pardon me?
It's in the second to last. If it's the alinea says it will be branded and renamed simply to MicroProfile.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Paul, thank you so much for explaining. It's just, you know, because I didn't see it. So I was like, what is this?
No worries at all. That's
I love it.
That's why I wanted to make sure the ballot text was in front of the steering committee, so that we're looking for your go-ahead to initiate the ballot. We won't vote on it today, but you'll be voting on it on the MicroProfile-WG mailing list.
So then, Paul, that means that after this call, one of us or whomever decides to send it to the forum needs to explain this part, because if I was confused, and I have been in most of the working group calls, imagine others. This will also be added into Q&A of what things we're learning on making MicroProfile part of the working group. There will be the group number 16. So thank you so much for the clarification. Super helpful.
Okay. Okay. So now the steering committee members have binding votes on this. The committee, or sorry, the community at large, of course, is welcome to participate with non-binding position.
And on that note, when we're saying, seconded and objections, if you're a community member and you have objections, say them. Right. So.
If you like, you could pass a resolution now to take this, to request the MO to initiate the ballot on your behalf.
Well, and Paul, can we follow up?
Do we need to vote to vote?
Do we need to do it today?
No, you don't need to.
Yes, let's just
keep voting, then otherwise, we just this is to some degree informational, although we're looking for your go-ahead to initiate the ballot on your behalf, and you will be voting on it on the public list.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it is a vote.
Object? Sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it is a vote to vote. I mean, we were joking about it, but that's just part of the process.
Do we need to vote? Well, can we just get a go ahead? Give them a go ahead?
Yeah, let's do
so
this.
If we do the motion in a second, no objections, boom, we're done.
All right.
I motion it.
All right.
I motion it. I want to be the motion because I'm really tough on this.
You got to say the full words. You can't be vague in any way at all.
Okay, the ballot the resolution to convert MicroProfile to a spec project happening now. Motion.
You're actually proposing that we give the EMO. Okay, I'll just do it. I propose we give the EMO the go-ahead to initiate the ballot to convert the project.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do I have a second?
Now you can second.
I second the motion.
Amelia can't second because it has to come from a different order.
We're one group. No. So.
All right. So any objections? We're done.
All right. So we'll initiate the ballot. Wayne's in the midst of EclipseCon, but he knows this is coming. And if we start it today, it'll conclude 7 days from now, which would allow the restructuring review to take place on the 28th of October.
So I have a question about that. Will you only be using the MicroProfile working group Eclipse forum, or can you also add the MicroProfile general forum that we use that has more than 1,200 interested MicroProfilers, working or not, passive or active?
Let's just send it to both and keep CCing the working group list so that way people are continuously made aware that it exists.
Yeah, can we do that? Because it's not enough. We have less than 30 people in the new mailing list. And I understand it needs to be used for voting, but it's not enough. We
Well,
only learn,
It's simple. Let's just do both.
Yeah.
I'm asking Paul though, and Sharon.
Here's what my suggestion would be is that the EMO post it to the -WG list, and then one of you forward it to the MicroProfile list with a link to join the mailing list. Encourage others to join the mailing list and for them to be aware that this discussion is happening or this vote is happening on the working group mailing.
Sounds good.
Okay, you know what? I will take that task because Sharon nicely sent a note on how to become a member over the weekend. And that was really helpful. So I can copy and paste what Sharon said and use it to bring more awareness to that space. So I will own that task. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Sharon.
John, that status you're typing isn't going in the right spot.
Well, what did I do? Oh yeah, darn it. Thank you.
Okay.
You're watching. Someone is watching.
Someone's always watching. Okay, so voted for the email to run the ballot. Ballot begins. Is that going to go out today or tomorrow or?
As soon as possible.
it's
I understand. I can't specifically speak on behalf of Wayne because he's right in the midst of EclipseCon, but he knows this is coming and that it's important.
Yep.
And Paul said that it might be done by the 28th of October, so that is okay. That's a little bit over 7 days.
Yep. Okay, I think we have now completed this topic.
Nope.
Now, there is a companion topic to this, which is the implications of shifting the project to a specification project, which does allow for the release to proceed. The companion topic is that once the project is converted to a specification project, committers need to either be members of organizations that have joined the working group or have join the working group themselves as individual working group participants. Those committers that haven't, that don't fall under those two categories, have their commit rights suspended until they until paperwork's available.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll work with anyone and everyone to make sure that if they've got questions that we'll diligently work with their organizations to get them resolved.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Yeah, that item that you're putting in right there, it's already listed above. It says upon MicroProfile becoming a spec project.
Yeah, that's what I get for doing it on the fly. I think I even typed that in.
Yes, you did. Yep. We
there we go.
You can just say, we do need to say something here. We need to say that EMO is working with those committers to make sure the paperwork is completed. Because
I wanted to just give Sharon a little window to give an update on that.
Thanks. There hasn't been any update since the last time we spoke. We've received, I believe, 2 back, and one was a switch in employment, and so that person is actually fine now based on the corporate WGPA. And we have the new committer that was just elected last week. So he's actually caught a little bit between both, and I actually made the call to get him fully signed up because I just didn't see the value of getting him in and saying, oh, by the way, you know, now we're going to lock you for a moment. So he's in progress, and we're happy to work with his company, you know, his organization, if there are questions. Other than that, Paul and I will be reaching out to all of those that we've already contacted tomorrow. So again, it's going to be another personal email communication to these folks, letting them know that what we'll do is let them know that the ballots commence. And as a result, we're now dealing with a very short time frame, which is, you know, makes it more important for them to provide the legal documentation that's required.
So there were 8
we'll continue to work. There were 8.
Yeah, did you get crickets from like 6 of them or 5 of them so far, it seems like? Did you get any response at all?
Two.
There was one that reached out requesting some information on how to submit, and I do not believe we've had an update from that person. But due to the fact they've reached out, I suspect that a follow-up to them will re-engage them. It's the ones that have been totally quiet. Those are the, those are
How
the
many,
war areas.
how many of them been totally quiet? Is it like 4 or 5?
No, yeah.
Around that?
What was the number?
Paul, go ahead.
It's about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So Sharon and Paul, and you gave us this update last week, and I thought it was wonderful that at least 2 have submitted, plus 1 because Edwin, that we have 3 going through the process. My update from last week was that I did contact the 2 that are historical committers, and they are considering, because now
right
2 historical, like, so if we understand that if the paperwork doesn't get signed, these committers will be placed under historical place until the paperwork is signed, and they will always be there and they can return, correct? There is no time limit.
No.
So that is what I explained to them. So there is no rush. And I also sent to them the link to the employer consent, the document we created on the Jakarta side that hits every project under the Eclipse Foundation, that allows an employee to say 2 pages. Yes, I authorize you. You can work on the project. I am okay with it as an employee. That is so helpful for us. So these 2 members, my return, they are not active. So they are concerned about not being active for the past year, but we'll see if there is some courage there. The same with the other 5, which I know have changed jobs and have not been active. They don't feel, some of them don't feel that they deserve to be able to do this. My suggestion is, if you're planning to work on MicroProfile and contribute, you're welcome and you should return, right? I don't think we have made a message explicit because it's not the job of the EMO to do so, but I think we and the community, those ones attending these calls, we need to bring that back into the forum and say, hey, we're going through this process. It is our job to communicate clearly that it is as simple as signing the documents and deciding, hey, I do want to get back to it, because some feel not adequate, right? So how do we tackle this? What are the suggestions?
So I don't know if you're looking to me for a response to that. But
Yeah, I mean, that was a
Not
lot.
you.
That was a lot.
Not you, the community. And I think this is what I'm saying. Paul and Sharon are doing their job. It's not your job to convert them.
You've already said a lot. Let me ask questions. Do we have the ability to know these people's names openly so that we could just encourage them on lists, or all individually reach out and say, please, please, please come back, or please stay, you know, please don't go anywhere? Do we know the name?
you have a committer list, right, for MicroProfile?
Yeah, but we just don't know which ones
I know.
have signed or not.
We could always well, yeah, that's
know.
true. We don't know. We don't know which ones have signed.
That is what I do not know.
Yeah, so give Sharon and I an action item to come back to on that one.
Yeah. It
And
would
we-
be
yeah,
great if people reached out, you know, separately from you guys to also give encouragement so that they don't feel that they're, you know, people should be still with us. Even if they're not active right now, they were active in the past, they may be active next year.
All right.
It's just,
Absolutely. It's our intention is not to disrupt that at all.
So two things. I'm trying to manage the clock here. So I think, you know, Paul and Sharon took the action item. We don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. And I recommend that we just have 1 or 2 people reach out. We don't want them to feel like 40 people, you know, ping them and feel like, oh my God.
Correct.
So those are the 2 things I would recommend, but let's let Paul and Sharon take a look at that and figure out, you know, make sure everyone feels comfortable. And then maybe we can just have 1 or 2 people reach out.
John, I also want to add here another question about those individual committers, because I think there is another category of committers which are not yet reached. For instance, myself, I did not receive that initial message from the EMO because I'm not an individual committer. I'm linked to a company, but that company is not yet or will not join maybe the working group. So what will happen with those people?
Rudy, it's Paul. I've been communicating with Steve.
Yes.
And he knows what to get done.
Okay. Thank you.
Rudy,
Steve.
and Rudy, what you said is so important because in the list of 8, I actually added you to that. So then my list, the one that I have, is wrong because I added you to the independent.
So that's why we have to be really, really careful that too many hands in the communication may confuse some people and set the wrong messaging. So I kind of agree. Let's Paul and I handle it for the moment. And then if we get as far as we can, then we can have a discussion about where we've landed, because too many hands will just create more, I think, confusion for people.
I agree. And I only reached to the 2 historicals for that reason, but I did make my own list and my list is wrong. So do you see the 2 of you on it, and let us know when to help you.
Yeah, if you can take action item, just so if you're going to let us know who might not be, we won't reach out, but because eventually some people are just going to show up as emeritus. And so, you know, if it's possible to.
We got it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Anything else on that topic? Any other bullets to talk about? Okay. The ballot initiation discussion for committee members. So we know we have potentially up to 3 eligible. We're working on a 3rd eligible. I think Edwin has already put his hat in the ring for 1. So the question becomes, at what point, you know, how long do we wait before we actually conduct a ballot to see if there's additional people that would like to run?
Well, it sounds like the people who aren't responding are unlikely to run.
We need to wait. I am uncomfortable. Kevin?
So I have a question. How many committee elections do we want? How many elected committers? I think this is not only coming from these 8 individual committers. I think this also include some maybe a non-member, non-corporate member employees, such as Rudy and some others, right?
Emily, you sent a note to the forum, which I followed 6 minutes before this call, so no one has gotten the chance to review it. And I thought you have a point. We have 56, maybe about 49 active last time we checked when we did the vote on push and pull. So it's like about 49. And the question to this group is actually, how many? I don't believe this group should be the one deciding on the number. I think we should put this back into the community. I feel extremely uncomfortable.
I'm not clear on the question. How many what?
How many representatives from the committee side get to run and get to own a seat on the table with the steering committee?
Well, the charter we just approved has 1 seat available, and as many people can run as they'd like.
Currently 1. But as we grow, we need to set up the scalability.
Then we would need to amend the charter, which we would be doing just the same day we approved it, which would be a little strange.
No, but yeah, that's, I mean, when we get to that point, as the number of member grows, we can evolve the conversation to adjust the committers.
But you know, we never talked about it. So this is nice that Emily brought it up, because we have it in the charter and it's limited to 1. And then I thought that is an amendment when we have 20 different orgs, we definitely want more committee representation. It would be super weak.
I would agree.
Just have one.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Edwin.
Can I verify something? So we can theoretically have more committee representatives, but only 1 committee member on the seat on the committee, right?
Yes, right now only 1.
Yeah.
Well, the word representative means, so we can have 1 representative because that's what we have in the charter.
Yeah, officially on the committee member chair seat.
You can have an unlimited number of committer members, but in terms of representative, representing the entire class of committer members, there could be one currently by the charter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, then I might misunderstand the concept of a committer member. So maybe that's for later.
So no, it's not. So committer members, let's say that there are 30 of them, right? It could be 30, it could be 100, it could be 200, it could be 1,000,000. You have an unlimited number of committer members. The committer members together vote one representative. And that person's technically the committer member representative. Represents all the committer members.
The committer member is just the committer of an open source project.
Right.
Now it's called committer member here in the working group.
So we can,
okay. Yeah.
We can have, exactly. So basically everybody who's a committer converts into being a committer member. So that's the mapping there. And then in terms of representation, there's one elected representative elected from the committer members by the committer members.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay.
Thanks.
But you know,
this was really weird. I tried to paste in the link that Kevin posted, and I didn't know that MicroProfile was adult content because that was the warning I got. I don't know if you saw it. So I had to
Google.
I had to turn off my screen share just in case, in order to actually say proceed. So I just thought I would let you guys know that there's nothing fishy going on.
It's
But
just
that's
Google always changes things. It's so annoying. Like I do not know. Like, go ahead.
Well, I didn't need to defend myself there. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I want to say it's like the commit. You said the David. You said one committer members mentioned in the charter.
No, representative. We have to be very clear with the terminology. Representative.
No, I did not say did not find is clearly defined as one rep, committer rep.
Yeah, we can pull the charter up. I am totally fine with there being more, but we have one in the charter.
So I scanned. I couldn't find any like numbers about elected committee members.
Should be under the makeup.
Governance.
Composition. Should be
governance.
Composition.
Sorry, God, this darn
composition under steering committee. Just get down a little bit more.
There we go. It's disposition. No,
At least one.
Yeah. So we can change it, or I mean,
you know,
it says one, but we had it says at least one, so we can add more if we want. We had discussed one. I'm totally cool if people want more. In the early working group discussions that John, Kevin, and Scott and I were having, I mean, I proposed that 75% of the vote would be committer members, but that wasn't popular. So I'm very aggressive on that.
Well, I think here's the way I would
believe that this guy.
I think we would need to. I mean, if we were going to change it beyond one, I think everyone kind of came into this understanding it was one, or almost everyone.
One.
So if we were to, even though it says at least one, if we were to want to have more than one, I think it would take a supermajority vote, as if it were a charter change. That would be my position or stance on it.
Right.
But at least, going for this upcoming ballot, it's always been considered as one.
Start with one for 220.
Basima, can you wait? So we had discussed that all committers would be able to vote, and we had discussed intent that the elected representative votes based upon how the other committers are voting, right? And we still have hopes of basically saying, hey, you need to represent all the committers, not yourself. right? And if we have more than one committee representative, that accountability is a little bit blurry.
Yes, that's my concern.
So then people start voting based upon how they personally want to vote. And then in essence, people who are not a committee representative don't really get the ability to influence anymore, because there is no single person accountable for basically being true to the entire community anymore. They start to become accountable for themselves.
Selfish.
That's a very good point, David.
Yeah, I'm concerned on that side. I think we changed the at least one because we wanted to grow. When we have 100, 200 committers, we will definitely need a co-chair, a proxy. We don't get the proxy at the moment. I have been very blunt on this and the forum, but we would be like a co-facilitator for managing these minutes. We will need someone so that that person, when it goes onto vacation, there is another person that will be able to vote on his or her behalf. I feel very, very wary of adding extra members because that will immediately dilute the reason why a committer should exist and speak not on behalf of itself, but on behalf of the community. That means you are talking, you are running the ballots, you're making sure that everything is traceable via Excel sheets, just as we did the push and pull. That was easy. There will be very few votes that the steering committee will choose to own, because we want the work of this the project to be done by its community and led by the community. In the message I sent 6 minutes before, I did say it takes courage to decide not to own a task when we could. The kind of committee
Right, that's a lot
of
sound. I really wanted to get a temperature check from the other 22 people on the call who are committers and would be voting for someone to represent them as a committer. And if you work for a company, it doesn't matter. You're still a committer, and your committer representative should vote the way you want them to vote. So do you like the idea of one person who is accountable to vote, who you can sort of hold accountable? Why didn't you vote the way we all voted? Or do you want, say, 2 people and then there's no real clear accountability?
I think to get started, is fine to have one. So my question is, we just clarify that we just have one. It's not at least one. Is in practice. So I think it's okay. As you say, as we grow, and then maybe we need more committee reps. I think we can move on if nobody else has any.
Yeah, does anybody else have any thoughts? I mean, people who are committers and.
One is good. I think, to me, the only question is, what is the definition of the function that combines the existing committers into that one vote?
Yeah, we have an open topic on that we got feedback on, but I still hope that we can make some way that everyone can vote to steer that one person's vote, right? So that they're voting on behalf of the community.
So
that's where Rudy had kind of investigated ways to do voting, right?
Yeah.
That would be a good, revisiting that and leveraging the work he's done on how the community might vote as guidance to the committer. Seems reasonable to me.
And we found one that is perfect, and the budget is great from the different vendors, and we can apply it so that it will be done super quickly. So yes, Rudy's work on that is going to be very valuable on that side of the fence. So Scott, does that answer your question?
I didn't hear a question from Scott. I think he just agreed.
He was wondering.
Oh.
Scott, we're projecting on you. We lost Scott. But
that's all right. That's all right.
So hold on a second. Michael and Vince and Samuel are here you guys are here and you're part of a larger community. Your communities have more than 3,000 members. What do you think about
Okay. Well, now here's the interesting thing. This is a steering committee call, and the way I'm trying to kind of moderate the meeting? Is it really to be more about steering committee members and the community kind of being there to monitor more or less? Whereas the community meeting that we have, which will be much more frequent, is where we can have these kind of conversations. So we've kind of started going down the route into kind of, you know, community involvement in this meeting. And I'm trying to keep that to a minimum so we can kind of stay to the business that the steering committee needs to run. I hope that's okay. You know, maybe I'm overstepping a bound,
No,
but I'm trying
I see
to.
what you're trying to get at. You're trying to basically ensure that the decisions are already kind of pre-baked and made by the community before they come before the steering committee for ratification.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of that. Well, there's that, but just the process of moderating the meeting, I'm just trying to make sure that we're conducting business in this meeting and not turning it into a community meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
With lots of community input.
John, and you're correct. I want to clarify that Mike and the JAG, they will become members. It's only that the paperwork is not completed. Otherwise, they will be members right now. So I took for granted that, and I'm treating them as a full member, and I shouldn't. So I am retreating this and making sure that I don't collude the two, because though I understand Mike and Chandra and Barry and how you guys are working so tirelessly on this, it's not completed. So I will back up my question and wait until you are formally a member. Is that cool?
Very
Michael,
cool.
we don't hear you.
Very cool. I wish we had 3,000 members at this point. So we're, but
well, you got to start somewhere.
You just started. You just started.
It's we actually just to digress for a minute. We kicked off the new name, the new rebranded website and the group, and we had Josh Long as our first speaker earlier this month. So that was pretty awesome. So yeah, we're looking forward to being part of this.
All right, awesome.
Good work on that. Good work.
So, you know, I really wanted
we didn't
to
wrap
try
that.
and,
We didn't wrap up the committer member thing. Does that mean that we need to kick that out back into the community discussion?
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of guidance, that aspect, yes, we do. And again, I'm going to reiterate, I'm guilty as well, that we kind of kick things off to the community during the week, and then the Monday before the next call, you know, that's when all the community discussion happens. And I think basically, and I'm as guilty as anyone else in that sense, if we're going to kick things off to the community, then we're going to have to participate in the community discussion, right? And like I said, I'm as guilty as any there. Now, this is something that we can, you know, go back into the community and discuss. There's a link here that we can have this conversation at. It's about people interested in committing. And somewhere there's also another thread that Rudy had started, I think, on the ballot. Sorry, how to vote for guidance for the committer. I can look that up and add that link here.
Can you do that, please? Because I've totally unpinged that conversation, and it needs to be either pinged back in or added to this thing. Okay. I think, yeah.
So I'm going to begin to close down the call here. I want to point out two things before I do. First of all, there is kind of an updated schedule. We did meet last week, Friday, on doing a dry run to get a release out. We didn't finish it, but we made progress. So we're going to have another meeting tomorrow. It's in the calendar, same time slot. Hopefully Edwin, Emerson, Kevin, you know, I added the account to the calendar. The last meeting is recorded. If anyone wants to see how releases are kind of conducted, it's more of a training experiment as opposed to, you know, just going through the motions. So feel free to take a look at that. And then last, the second thing is we have this specification checklist that we absolutely need to work on to release specs. So let's kick this out to the community. And the last thing we're going to kick out, again, we're out of time, is MicroProfile 4 platform specification and marketing release. We got to kick that out to the community this week. Next meeting, we don't really have another steering committee meeting scheduled. I'm guessing the next meeting is going to be, well, actually, I don't even know, because we don't have to be here together to vote.
Yeah,
on
we don't need
things.
we can do stuff on the list. We can have a regular Tuesday call. We discussed in the charter, or we discussed, no, I don't know if it's in the charter, but quarterly.
Yeah.
So I thought this
Oh.
will be the only one for 220. We're done. We will work on
Because
the community.
the important caveat is that in our charter, we have the concept of good standing, and you're not in good standing if you miss too many meetings of the steering committee. So we sort of aimed at 1 a quarter, so that way it wasn't too cumbersome for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so we don't have one scheduled currently then. What we will do is work on the live hangouts next week. Next week, we can decide how frequent we want to have that call until we release MicroProfile 4.0.
Yeah.
And then we'll just take it that way. So again, let's do our best to participate in the community forum in between meetings so we can make some serious progress.
But I have a question about this. We still have the working group MicroProfile call. Do we need that call, or we can make it about MicroProfile 4.0? My suggestion is to adjust that call to be MicroProfile MP4 and then move forward, because everything else on the working chart and working group that we need to do, revise, like the budget and a few other things, we can do it on the community calls. But the goal of this community is to launch 4.0. So can we change it? Or is there anyone else that thinks we need the working group call still every other week, that this call doesn't happen, or the community call doesn't happen?
The good news is we have a community meeting next week, and we can discuss it there.
Okay.
So again, I'm trying to maintain to the schedule. So I am going to, guys, I guess say thanks everyone for joining. And I forgot to really say it this way. I forgot to start my spiel at the beginning of the call, but it's October 20th. We have a call next week, and same bat time, same bat channel. And I will see everyone in the forums in between then. All right, thanks everyone.
Okay. Thanks guys.
Bye.
Yep.
Hi everyone.
Is tomorrow's 11 a.m. call on the list?
Yeah, it's on the calendar.
I just added it to the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the community invited to that?
Yeah.
Anybody
open.
can join.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
11
It's how we do the release, basically, and it's very detail oriented.
Yeah.
Do this,
so
do
Kevin,
this.
Yeah.
Kevin and John and Edwin, I am sending my feedback directly in the PRs. No time to attend the call, but PRs. So continue to send the PRs. I see them, and it's awesome. Highly recommend PRs.
I'm probably going to annoy the heck out of everybody, but since we just created that MicroProfile-WG thing, and we put our specification process in it so we can have it under revision control, maybe we do want to use a PR approach instead of just an issue approach.
Great conversation for next week.
Conversation for tomorrow. I'm just mentioning it now because maybe not everybody attends.
I don't see PRs. I cannot do the polls, but I'm
stopping recording.
Let's stop the recording and do.
Bye, everyone.
All right.